We're having online classes from now on, and the struggle is real. Took my robotics prof 15 minutes to unmute himself on Skype. Update. Programming prof is streaming over Twitch with a gaming headset and a Corona beer. Most on-brand thing I've ever seen. My parrot has a vague understanding of the word no. He knows to stop doing what he's doing when he hears it, and he knows how to say it. He knows it's a word that is used when he's doing something he shouldn't be doing. However, being told no doesn't make him stop doing it in future. If he's ever out of my sight, or if I'm not paying attention, I know exactly when he's doing something bad. Because he says no to himself as he does it. Getting diagnosed with ADHD as an adult owns, cause you get to walk into a doctor's office and have a guy with a medical degree tell you, "Aye boss, you got diet autism and the cure is to microdose meth, LMFAO. This tweet took me the F out. When you realize we haven't actually come all that far from you've got ghosts in your blood, you should do cocaine about it. Really, it is wild that sign language exists and is perfectly accessible, and yet it's not a taught second language in schools. Yeah, you can use it underwater and in situations where you need to be silent, and that's all cool and everything, but you can also use it to talk to deaf people, which is more than enough reason already. Just let sign language be an option in schools. I used to feed the crows on campus every day because it was easier than making human friends. I had one already, and Robin likes crows as much as I do. Pretty soon, they figured out where I lived and would alight upon my dorm windowsill and watch me. I offered them only healthy things, like leftover fish, hard-boiled eggs, nuts, suet, and dog food. They were already habituated to humans and had no fear of us, and I figured it was better to feed them real food instead of the french fries they'd get tossed. It only got weird when people began to notice that crows would follow me to class. Two in particular would fly alongside me as I walked across campus, landing and cawing for treats and keeping pace with me. Sometimes people would try to scare them off, and I'd have to explain that in Rich and Fatima weren't bad omens signaling my doom, just spoiled little brats. I want this strong of a relationship, LMAO. If you ever feel bad about taking a longer time than someone else to accomplish the same things, just remember that during the 1912 Stockholm Olympics, Japanese marathon runner Shizuka Nakiri passed out in a garden party along the marathon route, and, instead of notifying race officials of his inability to finish the race, he went back to Japan without telling anyone, and was considered a missing person by the Swedish authorities for 50 years. He didn't finish the race until 1967, when a Swedish television station offered to help him complete the run, and he finished with a final time of 54 years, 8 months, 6 days, 5 hours, 32 minutes and 20.379 seconds. This post needs a picture of the man finally crossing the finish line. I love how happy he is. April Fool's Day is cancelled this year, as no made-up prank could match the unbelievable sh happening in the real world right now. Reality is the universe's April Fool's joke, and I'm still waiting for the punchline. A crow tried to go in our classroom, and he had a pen. Yes, hello, I'm here to learn geometries. That crow is more prepared than some of my students. I love teacher bloggers. I apologize to everyone whose grammar I ever corrected before I learned not to be at all. You're forgiven. You're really sweet to do that. Thanks. Dark therapists show me illegal coping mechanisms. That's your drug dealer. Pet crows give their owners names. This is identified by a unique sound they make around specific people that they would not otherwise make. Oh my god. Welsh. Clearly, to the crows, we are the pets. Google how to get adopted by a crow. Crabs are so gentle, they can be so kind. Their claws? Precise little things, so careful in the sand, so careful with food. They do what they must to live, and wave their claws to express their joy to the world, for giving so much to them, for giving such kindness to these creatures, known as crabs. Please, be gentle to crabs. I was on a new sleep medication last night. Me. Is sad. Some random shiny thing with no function or monetary value, half buried in the dirt at the bus stop. Me. Oh ho ho. We're all just crows with rights and anxiety. My PP is malleable. It can be shaped into any form I desire, and with the magic of stop motion technology, I have crudely recreated every Wallace and Gromit movie using nothing but my plasticine PP. Recently, my PP has dried up and is now permanently shaped like the steamroller from Bob the Builder. Do you ever see a post you made 3 years ago and now have no recollection of ever having writing and just think, no, there's no way I'd ever put something like that on the internet, and yet there it is, your username undeniably attached to it. It's an experience not unlike coming across a gravestone with your own name and date of death written on it, and you realize that you've been dead for 3 years and have been existing this entire time as a soulless entity. Me. Okay, I have all of these things I need to get done within this specific time frame. ADHD brain. Me. So, I'll start by making a bullet point list of everything and check things off as I go. Add brain. In terms of like instant relief, making lists is like heroin. Really excited to go up the mountain with my dad to sacrifice a lamb. Looks like he forgot to bring the sacrifice, but I'm just happy to take a walk with him. Hey OP, any updates? Hey OP. I bring word from the Swamp Prince, the old pacts shall be honored. Muster your forces at first light. The internet is so cursed. When people look back on the history of COVID-19, it's going to look so different from the history of the plague, because we will have left a trace of quarantine playlists, all featuring Toxic by Britney Spears. Fking superb you funky little death omen. My favorite bit of folk medicine is that we are supposed to take wormwood for intestinal parasites. It's actually really effective, which is how wormwood got its name, but the reason it's effective is that wormwood is literally just poison, and it happens to kill the worm slightly faster than it kills you. That's medicine baby. No, but seriously, the reason plants have useful chemicals that we can use medicinally is because they have evolved those chemicals as poisons to prevent predation. Humans were just smart enough to figure out through trial and error how to balance these chemical extracts to counteract abnormalities in our bodies, like, this plant toxin is a cardiac glycoside and increases heart output. In a healthy person, this is highly unpleasant and may even cause death. But, for my aging aunt over here, who's suffering from congestive heart failure, a little foxglove extract taken every morning with her tea would probably help her circulation and keep her weary heart kicking for a few more years. Medicine is the opportune application of poisons. Healers and poisoners are folks with similar skill sets and wildly different philosophies. Greek tragedies be like, the female characters can have a little vengeance as a treat. We're all gonna be stuck at home for a while, so to pass the time, I suggest setting up a cute little campsite in your living room and watching a movie like Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction. Call that a tent in Quarantino. Hey everyone, welcome to recipes.com. Today we are going to learn about a cool and fun beverage to make. All you need is cherry Sprite, vinegar, and mix them together. I like to call it hell water because it tastes like water from hell. Tastes like licking a live wire just like Graham or used to make. I had no idea that chickens could float or swim. I don't know why I've never thought of chickens as buoyant. I never picture chickens anywhere near water. What else have I been missing? I groom one of these guys every week, and he's quite possibly the love of my life. We play a game called brush, kiss, because as long as I say brush, he'll stand nicely, but the second he gets impatient, or I need a break, I say kiss, and he explodes into a ball of joy, and kisses my entire face, and anywhere else he can reach. It's the best part of my week sometimes. Well, this is the best possible comment on any photo ever. Me. Yeah, I'm really tough. Me. Get scared by text notifications when they are too loud. Me. Easily startled when people tap me on the shoulder. Me. Cries under any sort of pressure ever. Me. Cries when anyone raises their voice higher than their average volume. Me. So tough. Just write a poem. What do you have to lose? This is especially good advice. Now that we are quarantined, everybody should write poems about it. Beautiful. Someone sneezes. Everyone freezes. Coronavirus mania. Watching Castlevania. Staying alone. Playing 7DS on my phone. I'm bored already. There's nothing to do. And the worst part is, it's only day 2. Fun fact. The average person would walk past a murderer about 36 times in their lifetime. I like how this is called a fun fact. It's fun because they didn't decide to murder you. A dimension-hopping sci-fi series with a running gag whereby the Shrek franchise is exactly the same in every possible universe, up to the limits of the available media technology. A universe where humanity never advanced beyond an early medieval tech level. Troubadours sing the ballad of Shrek the Ogre. A universe where humanity was conquered by giant alien bugs in the 1950s. Freedom fighters paint Shrek's face on the sides of buildings to signify safe haven. The bugs see via vibrations and can't perceive the graffiti. A universe where the dominant species on Earth are sapient crystal formations that communicate via psychic emanations. Somehow, Shrek is there. British cunning folk were known to use a variety of methods in order to cure someone of malevolent sorcery, including tackling the witch either physically or through the law courts. Sorry, I'm fking howling at the image of some old woman minding her own business until she's suddenly rugby tackled into next week. Juvenile punks are brightly colored as a form of protective visibility, allowing their parents to find them easily and preventing injuries, such as traffic mishaps and accidental mosh pit squishing. As they mature, punks develop their darker, studded adult plumage. That was not the description I was expecting, but it's perfect. The baby punk already has a skull patch on their jacket ML. Gentle reminder not to eat too much candy before bed. No, this was a gentle reminder, yet your words of defiance brings me ungodly amounts of rage. Word. I want nothing more than to uppercut you directly to heaven's front door. Maybe, if I had fangs and could turn into a bat and hypnotize people and eat anyone I didn't like, then I wouldn't have so many problems. Crows are the fairy folk. Evidence. They are little, mischievous tricksters. Love trees. If you offend them, they will never forget it, but if you help them, they will give you gifts. Used to be gods, dinosaurs, until they were overthrown by a new ruling class. The epidemiologist held the monkey's paw. He knew its legend, but he thought, if he wished for something selfless, something not too vast, perhaps it would come true without too high a cost. He thought carefully and then said, I wish for proper hand washing technique to become a meme in 2020. And so it did.